What's up, apes? Hi, lady apes, gentlemen apes. This is Ape Andy. Just sharing individual thoughts, not investment, not financial advice. And apes are not collective groups. You make up your own mind and decisions after reading DDs and watching videos. For example, this video, Ape Andy video. Now, just sharing individual thoughts, personal opinions, and only imaginary scenarios. Now, in the last video, we were talking about GME, hedge funds short and hedge funds long. Now, they are battling against each other week after week. Hedge funds short, trying to dig themselves out using many sets of call options. However, the hedge funds long know that strategy of the SHF, trying to dig themselves out, so they keep the price low. This is the so-called, well, other smart apes give it a name called the max pain theory. So max pain for the shorting hedge funds, SHF, maximum pain. So they bleed and bleed, the SHF. Now, so the logical question that you would want to ask is that, okay, Ape Andy, how long will this go on? When does the enemy of the SHF, the hedge fund going long on GME, which is the same side as apes are on, don't know who's helping who. Don't know if apes are helping the hedge fund long or hedge fund long is helping the us apes, or both. Now, how long will this go on? My personal opinion is that it will go on until the hedge fund long decide it is time to go in for the final bang bang. Okay, this is YouTube channel, so no swearing words, no violent languages, so I don't want to say the word K-I-L-L. Spell it out. Okay, until the hedge fund long go in for the final K-I-L-L. Now, my personal take is that if I'm a hedge fund short, I'm bleeding every week, right? Options expire. I try to go to 500, the hedge fund long, keeping it below 250. Well, before the Memorial Day long weekend, Friday was closing at 222, right? So that's below, way below the, for example, target 500. So many of the call option that the hedge fund short has logged expired, out of the money, premiums taken away. That's a lot of bleeding. But that's what it takes for the hedge fund short to keep doing what they're doing, to try to dig themselves out. And the hedge fund long keeping them down so that they cannot climb out of the deep, deep hole they dug themselves in. Okay, so they're bleeding. Now, think of it this way. Gangsters and cops, bang, 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 fighting each other, okay? And the cops are doing the siege, okay? Cops with help of good civilians, apes doing the siege, circling the hedge fund short, SHF, shorting hedge funds. And so they're fighting back, and there's a gunfight going on. And every week, as the siege drags on, every week, the SHF, they bleed. So they lose ammo. They lose ammunition. It's like a video game. GameStop video game. Okay, so they lose ammunition. So their blood level comes down, right? Well, really video game scenario. Their blood level comes down, ammunition goes low. Okay. Now, when the hedge fund long thinks, from my data, from my analysis, I think you hedge fund shorts are running out of blood, running out of ammo. then they go in for the final blow. Now, what does that translate to the real world scenario? When the hedge fund long goes in for the final KILL, final blow, final attack, then because the hedge fund short are so low on ammunition, so low on blood, that means they don't have enough money left because they bled, right? Money were all used up paying interest rates on borrowed shares and the premiums that got taken away because it was out of the money. So the hedge fund shorts are low on money, low on cash, low on ammunition, low on blood. And then the final blow comes in, final KILL from the hedge fund long comes in. If that happens, then of course theoretically the hedge fund long would up the price, right? Okay, up the price. So those borrowed shares, remember, shorted at $10. So for example, the price goes up. For example, just for example, the price really goes up to say 500 and beyond. But Ape Andy, that was the price the hedge fund short targeted to take themselves out. Yes, correct. But now they're low, way low on blood. So when it really goes to 500, remember all the naked shorts, synthetic shares, and whatever they shorted? They're done on margin, right? So you have to provide collateral. But I don't have enough money to provide collateral. I'm short on money. My money was all gone week after week. I bled. See? So when that happens, the shorting hedge funds cannot provide enough money for the collateral, for the margin call of the borrowed shares. Well, I mean, what happens if you can't pay your mortgage? Then the bank forecloses your house and take it away, right? And put it up for sale. That's what happens. If the borrowed shares, margin call, they're called, okay, please provide collateral, then you can keep your borrowed shares. I don't got money, bled, no more money. Oh, you can't provide money? Then I just have to liquidate you. The broker has to liquidate the borrowed shares, the borrower. Margin call. Default. Then the broker steps in and say, sorry, shorter, your borrowed shares on margin, I gave you a chance to provide collateral, but you cannot come up with the cash for collateral, so I'm going to have to liquidate you. Okay, when that happens, the broker's computer algorithm steps in and, oh, you have so many shares borrowed, then I must cover the short position. This is computer language, okay? So the computer steps in, algorithm, they just buy at the next asking price. They just buy at the next asking price. They just buy at the next asking price. But again, But again, what was the ape strategy? Buy and hold, right? Buy and hold. That means you don't sell. If you don't sell, then there's no asking price. So the computer algorithm, no asking price there. Go up to the next asking price. Go up to the next asking price. Go up to the next asking price. The computer doesn't have emotions. The computer doesn't care at what price the trade went through. All the computer knows is that my user pressed the enter button for me to cover the short position, so I cover at the next asking price. Price goes up, right? Price goes up. That's what happens. So back to the logic of Max Payne. So the hedge fund long, wait until the hedge fund short has bled enough, then go in for the final blow. When's that? I don't know. That is why Ape Andy keeps saying MOAS is when, not if. Again, Many financial institutions in US, they have alarm bells. It's like a tornado warning. The weather conditions is ripe for tornado, so tornado alert. Now, the financial institutions in states, they also have short squeeze warnings. Alarm bell ring, ding, 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 ding. This particular stock has a 10 on 10 score for short squeeze. That particular stock has a 10 on 10 for short squeeze. Alarm bell sounds off. And I can tell you for a fact that many of the financial institutions, financial advisors, big or small, their alarm bells are going off, ringing. 10 on 10 score for short squeeze on GME, 10 on 10 score for short squeeze on AMC. Alarm bells are ringing. Another form to describe it is that if many financial institutions sees that GME and AMC has short squeeze alarm bell ringing off the hook, that means there's blood in the water. These are sharks. Hedge funds go against each other. The only purpose for the hedge fund is to make money. They don't care who they go against. They don't care who's on the opposite side of the trade. They just want to make money. So when there's blood in the waters, these hedge funds jump in. Okay, and then life just gets harder for the SHF. Okay, so that is why there is the need for the hedge fund long on GME or AMC to bleed the shorting hedge funds. Bleed until the blood level is low, until they're low on ammo, until they're weak. Then they go in for the final KILL. Just a side note. So this is my take again. Ape Andy doesn't do options, so I save the money for buying stocks. So if you really like gambling, then options is for you, but be careful of the max pain theory. So I don't do options. I don't do that. It's like gambling for me, but that's my personal opinion, my take. Okay, now only one idea per video. So this is the max pain theory of the hedge fund short being bled out by hedge fund long until the hedge fund short becomes so weak that when the final blow comes, they cannot put up enough cash for the collateral, for the margin call, which means default, which means computer algorithm steps in to close the short positions for the defaulting SHF. It's like the scenario of two armies, or cops against gangsters. They wait until the gangsters run out of ammo. Okay, right? So I'm Chinese, and there's a book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And it reminds me of a story that when two armies are at war, and there's an army general. This army general has a very smart method to bleed out the enemy army. Hedge fund short, hedge fund long. Okay, now this is Sun Tzu, The Art of War. The army of the good guys, the army general of the good guys, wants the enemy army to run out of ammunition. But this is way back when, in the ancient times of China. So it was not bullets. It was not bullets and bazookas or bombs. It was arrows, okay, and spears. So this army general of the good guys' army sent out boats. And on the boat he had straw, straws that mimic people, like scarecrows. Scarecrows made of straw, whatever. Okay, so they look like people. And during this battle, there was a fog, okay, and the army general of the good guy, during this fog, sent out many boats with scarecrows on it, in the form of human figure, mannequins, okay. And the boats came to the shores of the enemy army. It was foggy, very foggy, so the enemy army, scouts, soldiers, generals, they were getting very scared and alert, because they thought, oh, the enemy has sent so much troops on boats coming in. It's foggy, they can't tell exactly what they're looking at. They're looking at mannequins and scarecrows on boats. So they prepare all their arrows to try to kill these soldiers on the boats. But they were actually, in fact, scarecrows, mannequins. But it kept coming, right? So because these mannequins and scarecrows, they could take arrow after arrow and after arrow. So they keep shooting the arrows. Boats keep coming. They just keep coming. Shoot your arrows. Kill them. KIL them. This is just storytelling. Okay. And so they run out of arrows. They run out of arrows and spears. And then the army of the good guys came in for the KILL. How's that? Bleed out your enemy. When they're weak, go in for the final KILL. All the above are my personal imagination and personal opinions. Be strong, apes.